Hi, thank you for joining Sponsorship Talk with Roberta Vigilance podcast, where you get to know sponsors. Today's guest is Jai Subedi. Jai is the vice president and one of the founders of TruCare Connections. And just a little note, I had the honor to work closely with Jai on the sponsorship. And what that allowed me to do is to see up close the sponsorship process from when you submit your sponsorship proposal, from when it starts to handing that down to the person who actually will sign the check. It's just an amazing process. So I'm glad that I was able to actually see that. And that's is what I mentioned, that it's very important for you to submit your sponsorship proposal much sooner than when your event takes place, sometimes 6 months, depending on um, how large the company is and depending on what that person has going on. So, it goes through a process. So today's guest, as I mentioned, is Jai. Jai, welcome.
Thank you.
Jai, tell us something about yourself. Let us know something that no one knows, maybe, and this is the first time you can share with the audience.
Thank you, Roberta, for having me in this wonderful show. As you said, my name is Jai Subedi. I was born in Bhutan. Bhutan is a small country between India and China. So, due to the political conflict back in 1990s, I was 12 years old when I was kicked out from my own country. So I ended up in refugee camp in Nepal for 18 years of my life, and then immigrated to US, and settled in Syracuse, New York since 2009, or late 2008, and this is 15th year that I am living with my family in Central New York. As you said, I am the vice president of TruCare Connection, which this is wonderful healthcare organization that we initiated and started back in 2017. So glad to be here, and thank you for the great question, Roberta.
Absolutely. Please tell us about the events that you are sponsoring.
So we are local. Most of the time we are locally based organization. We work with many of the grassroots level of organization in the communities all the way up state New York. With that being said, there are areas where we can sponsor, that align to our mission and our goals. So in the past, based on the community, to support the local communities, we have sponsored many events like the World Refugee Day that we have a event in June. That's the event that the people from across the globe will come and celebrate the diversity and strength. So that's the event that we sponsor. We also sponsor Night of the Nations. That is one of the event that is every year hosted by the RISE, Refugee Immigrant Self Empowerment, which does a wonderful job in Central New York. Also, we did with the Interfaith Works, a great organization for community-wide dialogues and racism, support the immigrants and new Americans to settle their life in this region. And there are many other local events like dementia care conference, other healthcare programs, or events, a Latino festival, Juneteenth. There are many events that we did in the past, and we are hoping to continue to work with them, collaborate, and support and sponsor whatever level we can able to do it. While saying that, we are not a big corporate. We don't have millions of dollars to put it in the advertisement and sponsorship. We are a small organization, and we are making some support to make a difference in the community.
And that's really what it is about. In this case, what I say is, size does not matter. Yes, some people need seven figures, and some people just need three figures and four figures to help their communities, right? So, in this case, the size doesn't matter. It's the impact and the partnership, that the impact that's caused from the sponsorship partnership.
Yeah.
Let us know why you sponsor those events. I know I've heard that you mentioned it's because, from what I even wrote in my book, How to Secure Sponsors Successfully, there are two reasons: the intangible reason and the tangible. The intangible is what I've heard you mention. It connects with where you're from, it connects with you want to help people who have been in the same situation with you. So those things are like unmeasurable, right? It's more of what you're getting out of it is the self gratification, knowing that you are helping hundreds and maybe thousands or more people within those communities. Now, let's talk about the tangible side, if that's possible. Why do you, which bring me back, why do you sponsor the events, for example, on the business level, or do you sponsor it on the level of tangible, of generating leads or growing the business or achieving something for you personally, or even for the business specifically?
Thank you, Roberta. That's a great question. So, you know, I am quite active in the Central New York region. I have many hats and figures while I am in the communities. I work for the grassroots level to the corporate level, on the board, on the advisory, and on the different levels. So I always feel giving back is the God will look after us and give us something back, right? So that's how we invest in the communities. And one of the thing that you mentioned is being on those situation as a refugee for a long time, and I feel the pain, how hard it is to be come up from the barriers and in the new cultural country, and able to live their own life happily, but overcoming those challenges is not easy. They have to come through the cultural challenges, they have to come through the language barriers. There are so many things that we have to overcome, and I fought so hard to get out of that ring, to have American life and dream. So my point here is we sponsor a lot of those small events to encourage our folks. Hey, I was like you guys, like 10, 15 years ago, and I'm here, I am today. So why not we can, let's work out and get it out from the poverty circle and help our families to grow together and live happy life with the pursuit of American dreams, right? The other side that you said is also making difference in the communities. Like since we live in such a close community, we know each other very well. We are very connected, interconnected each other. So why not we also support the other areas that we can able to make the difference in the people's life, right? So giving out something from our heart is nothing bad. So if we every people have a good heart, I think it would be a great country, great things that, and we everybody would enjoy their happy life in the with the families. So that's what we think, and all of my team, all of my executive partners, they all agree with our mission, and we have a similar backgrounds, all of us. So that's how we plan to give to the local instead of giving to the out of state business, because we want to invest in the community. Local communities make a difference. When they grow, we grow. When we grow, they grow. So that is our mission, and that's our way to do the business.
Okay, fair enough. And I want to go just a little deeper. What if, which would bring me to the third question, what is new for TruCare Connections? What type of opportunities are you seeking? For example, if someone now, as the podcast grows, and this, well, listen, I'm part of a refugee program, and I this seemed like a great opportunity to approach and connect and have a conversation with True Care Connections. But what, they come to you and say, hey, we can maybe put you in a new area, or something that's outside of you're doing it because of the love. They are actually bringing, measurable or tangible. Of course, you could see the tangible value when you change lives. You see the family
Mhm.
living and thriving. You see that. But someone comes to say, well, I can bring in more leads or something like that. Whatever it is that they have, does do those opportunities align with the future of True Care Connections? And by the way, most people might not know this about me, even though I shared it on my website many times, but I changed it, is that I too am a first American born. A lot of people don't know that. My family is from Guyana. And when my mom traveled from Guyana to England, where my brother was born, she came to America, and I am the firstborn. So I understand about the language barrier. I totally, totally get it. So this is one of the reason I truly admire what you've said, and with helping people, get through the American railroad culture, so to put it. Um, so please tell us what the future of True Care Connections, what type of opportunities you're looking for, and if someone was to bring some information or opportunities saying, let's grow. So I see all those flags in the background you have there. Let's go grow to Canada. How do you feel about those type of opportunities?
Thank you, Roberta. That's so wonderful. So that is the World Cup flag from last 2020 three World Cup tournament. So my son is crazy about soccer, so that's why we got these flags. Well, talking about True Care, when we started back in 2017, we never expected we will grow this much level within certain period of years. Okay, last 7 years we have grown from one client to over 1,300 clients as of now, and every day is growing. We are expanding the cities from Rochester to Syracuse to Buffalo, now Utica, and again planning for Albany expansion this year. And in the meantime, we are trying to provide much growth area for our employee, that able to start their own business, support them whatever way we can able to. And you have seen already that a couple of our staff left us, and they started their own business. What the heck we are doing? They are our employee, and we supposed to have them. They are a good employee. We are losing them, and we are. But in the meantime, because we know how hard is it to get through, because I know and we know that everyone's success is our success. That's why we invested in them and make them their own business set up and start their grow their own business, right? So pretty much that's our vision. So one day come, but we have a great employees, including you, everybody. So far we have 50 plus employees, staff within us, and 700 plus employees in the fields, so which is great. So I am saying if we continue to grow this like this, next 5 to 10 years we will be double. And we have a strategic meeting coming up in our executive team, so we are planning for next 5 year plan coming soon. I don't have exact idea where what are the expansion of the areas of the programs will look like in the future, but anyone who listen to this podcast and have a question about um, the healthcare program, the CDPAP home care program, care management program, health and wellness program, definitely we need your suggestion, feedback, whatever way. Do the Google reviews and check. We have been awarded with a bunch of awards from the provider of the year, best employer of the year, the provider of choice, Century State. They offered us the economic champion. So there are many hours that we have now. So I think we are doing great job. We are growing. We are expanding. We are expanding down the road in program wise. We are on the process of acquiring the building so that we have multiple programs grow together. So this is what I can say. But definitely in next 5 to 6 months, I think we'll have a clear picture where the true care will head for next 5, 10 years. So thank you for that question, Roberta.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons that I am at TruCare, I've been here in the US. I was born in the US, but I was raised outside of the country. I was raised in Guyana, South America. And going through the employment funnel or the work system, I've worked for many companies, even though I've started this my sponsorship business in 1999. And the reason I started it, it was purely out of wanting to help a community that needed help. I just felt it. I love music, and a lot of the students wanted to become singers and dancers, and I had, without actually having to sleep their way into the industry. And I was working on a project where I had access to celebrities, musicians, and I wanted to leverage those connections to help that audience. I didn't have any experience at all. I didn't have the money to fund the events, but I had my passion and I had a sales background.
Can I
So
chip in something on that? So hey, 731 building on the basement floor. I know, I'm not sure you have looked at it, but is a big hall space coming up. We are trying to make it that a great for dancing, music, for the community events, for the community meetings. So you can start your own project. We have a space, and we can work together. So
that's one thing I do like about TruCare, and it's connections. It's totally different from the jobs, the companies that I've worked at. Totally. Um, what I like, one thing is having that sense of freedom and not the restrictions, because I noticed with the restrictions, what happened is that they lost some of their best employees because of the restrictions, and it just wasn't as productive. And one thing you've mentioned, it's when you feed into your employees and they branch off and do their thing, their business, it's an asset to True Care Connections, because then somehow you become partners with them, um, based on the type of industry that they are in. And I'm sure they will always come back and you have that relationship. Other companies that I've worked at, they don't have that. You leave and that's it. And while you are there, it's just it's very constrained. But I tell you this, in my early years working at companies, and I'm just young, fresh, thick accent, working in small offices with the secretary, and I'm doing the paperwork, and the boss, the owner, would be somewhere in another office. And I remember just one particularly, he would just come out, he wouldn't say much, but it was just a great environment of long-term wealth, right? Growing up in Guyana was very confined for me, so I know what homely feels like. So it was just very productive. And True Care Connections, True Care Connection has that homely feeling, and I believe that's why you grew so fast in that short period of time. And I wish you much success with what you are doing. I'm glad to be part of the success, of course. Of course, with sometimes we can expect it to get the waters to get rough, but we navigate through that with great leaders like yourself and your
thank you,
team.
thank you, thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to share with the
No,
audience?
just like to add what you said. We are very family friendly office cultural. Even though we are some level of corporate executive policy that we have to maintain, but on the ground that we everyday workplace is our very friendly place. 95% of our staff just came through the family friend connection. We don't have to advertise, we don't have to look for the big social medias or internet online posting. We get to know everybody through the connections that family like it because you like the environment and you bring somebody who is additional asset for the company. That's how we have seen. You have, so our retention rate, you already looked at it, right? Very few people leaving the company because they're living not because of us, they're living because of them. They want to pursue the career, or they want to have their own business, or they're moving out of somewhere else, right? So that's the reason only they're living. Other than that, we don't have people leaving our office. So and we are multicultural, we are multi-ethnic, we are multi-religious, we are multi languages. So which is a very strength to our company. We have 20 plus different languages speaking staff. We celebrate birthdays, parties with the different cultural food, right? And so this is the very family friendly place that to work. And if there are good people to looking for the job down the road, just leave us a resume so we can looking forward for the best place to work for you guys. Thank you.
And yes, and I would like to add they can also find you on Facebook. You are welcome. True Care Connection does have a Facebook presence as well. Jai, I hope it's okay for me to mention that you are on LinkedIn as well, that the individuals can find you there. So you're local and you are international as well.
Yep.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Rhoda.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Jai, and to all of my listeners and viewers, thank you as well. Take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you so much.